So far, we've turned normal notation into scientific notation, but you should also be able to do this from scientific back into normal notation. As an example, 1.56 times 10 to the negative 6. The negative exponent means if we had switched it from normal, we would have been moving the decimal over to the right. So to go back into normal notation, I'm going to start with the 1.56, but now I have to move the decimal the opposite way. I'm going to go back to the left. I'm going to go over 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So this is where the original decimal point was, and I had 0.00000, 5 zeros, and then 1.56. So if I double check, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 times, these two numbers would be equivalent. Now, entering those in your calculator is one of the most missed parts of Chapter 2, and we're going to be doing calculations all semester. So being able to put the number in your calculator correctly is extremely important. Most people can put normal notation in their calculator without any problems. It's the scientific 1.56 times 10 to the negative 6 that gives you issues sometimes. The key is you have to find the button on your calculator, your scientific calculator, that does the time sign and the 10 with just one button. You should not hit the time sign button and then another button for the 10. This should be a button on your calculator. Some calculators it'll say EXP. Some calculators the button will be EE. Some calculators will be a button, maybe it has a time sign, 10 to the X power, something like this. But you don't want to use the time sign separate from the 10. So if I was entering this, I would enter the 1, then the 5, 1.56, and then EE. And then some calculators, you have to hit the negative sign, which might be something like this, plus or minus, and then the 6. When you find the button that matches your calculator, try a calculation like this. 1 times 10 to the second divided by 1 times 10 to the negative third. If I was putting this in, if I do the numerator, 1 EE 2, and then I hit the divided by button, and I'm dividing that by 1 EE, and then a negative 3. If you do this correctly, when you hit the equal sign, in normal notation, your calculator should give you an answer of 100,000. In scientific notation, we'd have to move the decimal over 5 places to the left, so this should be 1 times 10 to the positive 5th. There should be a way on your calculator to tell it that you want the mode to put all of your answers in scientific notation. This is going to help you. It's quicker for your calculator to be left in scientific mode rather than in normal mode. So on most calculators, you hit a mode which might have to be on a shift and then hit the mode, and most calculators will flash NORM for normal, and then you might have to hit an arrow to move over to Sci for scientific. If you did this calculation and you're not using the buttons correctly, then most likely you'll get an answer 0.1 or 1 times 10 to the negative first. So those answers means you're not finding the correct button on your calculator.